So hello and welcome. This is Bastian. This is an anti-hate video response to the video of X-Thing6, known as Manus, Tom Dark, etc. And so we start. In this video, X-Thing6, you want to point out a few things about Desteni which you claim to have researched for about several months. Let's take on this statement first. If you know anything about Desteni and the Desteni material after several months, then it is that you actually are not able to comprehend all of the Desteni material in several months. I mean, if you want to have time for anything else in your life, which I hope you have. So, if you obviously haven't completed your research yet, then why are you making hate vlogs in which you try to slander Desteni people and to accuse the group of innumerable things? This would be my first question to you. So next you are saying that in your vlog you are going to throw out some thoughts about the group, which in fact has nothing at all to do with the meaning of a serious research, does it? Your following statement is that the group at first looks almost benevolent. And here you show your own first reaction to the group, I guess. In my case, my first encounter with Desteni was not of that kind. I had some rather stifled first contact with them. But everybody is able to read and hear about that in my vlogs related to the group and my first encounter, as I am sharing everything in my process openly, like we all share ourselves, in self-honesty, which means that you won't have anything to hide if you don't hide from yourself. And it is free. You can read and watch hundreds of texts and vlogs of different perspectives about that. And then you claim that this benevolence, which is merely either a personal perception of yours or just an untenable assumption, that this was, I quote, just to get you in. In none of the following you even give a hint on where exactly that would be. Wherein should people be led by benevolence, if it even exists that way? I mean, I can understand that you are a skeptic, a suspicious, especially when one follows your story in your own vlogs and writings, but maybe we will have the chance to expose more of these hate motivators of yours later on. But if one looks at our world, that is exactly how things work in our economy, our society, our occupational lives, careers, advertising. Things, people, groups appear benevolent and pleasant until you sign the contract, and then they turn away from you, isn't it? Because they got what they always wanted, their profit. That is what our world, our money system is all about, and that is why we stand for a change, namely the equal money system, which you will later designate as a keyword that we were using in order to lure people into our group, but one after another. You say you haven't joined the group, so you were not an ex-member. So you claim to have done research and found out things because you read the material, which is according to your statements highly questionable, and anyway, this shows very clearly that the Desteni material is and has always been absolutely free and open to read for anyone. Not only that, you are able and being asked to participate actively for free. You will have all the support of the group for free if you are serious about your self-application. What means if you do not try just to take your own benefit, if you are not self-honest and try to enrich yourself with the information that may you use to inflate your ego, which brings me to the next point of your statements. You assume that all your information was from reading the material and talking to members. So actually you have always been trying to get information, and exactly that kind of information that suits your own presumptions and conditionings. In other words, that legitimates your intention to harm a group just because you fear their applications, which expose all kinds of feigned goodness, morality, and other good intended stuff, which is used to cover mundane self-interest. And this self-interest is actually a threat for all life because it deliberately manipulates, for example, by claiming a position of righteousness which is based on notions and assumptions and slogans like, for example, inner circle, this is a nice one, and ignorance, and never interested in what is best for all. Because that can only be self-honest application and acceptance of unveiled truth of existence as it is. Anyhow, you continue to talk about how they draw you in and operate, which is again very interesting regarding the fact that you have never been in, maybe because there is no such a place at all. The next thing is you again come with personal opinion and reaction towards how people look. So you say that those people might look a little weird or have strange ideas, while you don't give any example of those ideas that you think are so strange, or how it comes that you find people from Destiny look a little weird. So no information, no argument at all in that next following phrases. What I see here is just your very own personal perception and experience of how you came to visit the Destiny website on your own, which is at this stage of no value at all for anyone because you are not obviously not sharing it in self-honesty. If you would, this could actually be a great support vlog for people realizing how easily one gets trapped by the cunning ways of the ego. So there we are at the Destiny website. And you say there it is going to get worse because you start to get into their thought patterns and you start participating when you start practicing the Destiny process, which is actually called the Destiny I process for an obvious reason. Then you will start hearing things like self-forgiveness and self-honesty and self-responsibility, and you claim with a serious look in your eyes that this jargon was meant to reprogram you. Actually, it is, because that is obviously what is missing in this world, self-responsibility and self-honesty. And if you would have done research properly, you would actually know what it means, and not try to simply defame people that have made a decision to stand equal and one with life, that dare to stop hiding, making secret plans and agendas to preempt each other's, and that share themselves in the open as a living example, that change is possible, that we actually are able to end all abuse and suffering in the world if we face ourselves and forgive ourselves in self-honesty. There's more than enough living proof by now, and they all are sharing their processes equally for free. So again, you try to deceive because you connect the Destiny I process to these things, which means you try to give the impression Destiny would have secret knowledge or programs which it shares only with those that buy in. That is obviously deception. Not least because you say already that you haven't been in at all. So the next point is fascinating. You say that you think, or it seems, that once they have you in, it seems very hard for you to get out, because you can participate in everything from home. So I do really not understand that logic. I mean, wouldn't it be much harder to get out of a group that wants to hold you back when you are actually there, in person, on site, maybe in a camp or something, rather than from home where you simply turn off your PC and done? Anyhow, my question would be here, where you get this impression from? Which experience are you referring to, as you never have been in? Again, it seems that this is all made up by you because you personally fear something about Destiny, and it is just fantasy of yours, not a single example, not a single proof or evidence. My suggestion is to investigate your fear, its root and how it rises, what causes it, where is the trigger point in self-honesty. And what do you mean by system of isolation? This is also an interesting point. Isolated from what? Society, outside, culture? And how does it operate, the self-isolation? Again, unfortunately, you have only assumptions and opinions to share that you haven't cleared for yourself yet. So next point, you call self-honesty, self-forgiveness as mantras and mumbo-jumbo. This is obviously just your opinion with no relevance for people that are really interested or have already actually applied self-forgiveness, self-honesty and self-responsibility. While you obviously don't understand what it is about because it has nothing to do with mantras and therefore you have not done any research, or you are deliberately spreading false information, which would mean that you lie. What brings me to the next point. The reason why you are doing this is, as you said, that you don't like it when people tell lies, and that Destiny was telling some big lies. While I have above presented some facts about possible attempts of you lying or even deliberately spreading false information, I am still missing any example or evidence of these lies that Destiny is telling according to your accusations. So you might probably know that such behavior is likely to be indictable, but what is more important is that it is dishonest to yourself and others. Then again, you refer to some terms that you was reading during your research as keywords or tag words, and you give equal money as an example. As I mentioned previously, the equal money system is a serious attempt of self-honest and committed people to develop a practical solution for all beings, a world solution to end all abuse, and exploitation through our current money system so that all can live dignified life on Earth. Only ignorance and a lack of reading, for example, reading on ecomoney.org, can lead to such assumptions. So what are you afraid of when a group of people is working on solutions for problems and circumstances in our world that are obviously unacceptable? What makes you think that these topics would be used in order to lure people into some group trap? No argument, no evidence, not even a try to go into the meaning of these terms, and by the way, far away from presenting any sort of solution by yourself. On the contrary, you show that you don't even take topics like animal abuse, solidarity, equal justice, etc. seriously. So nothing to argue with the next statement that destiny gives you a direction. That is perfectly right. And if you really look into what they are talking about, this is your next point. If you really look into what they are talking about, what they are saying, then what? You don't finish this accusation. You don't clarify your suspicion here. You open up a point that you are obviously not able to finish, because you would have to end up with, you see that they are really interested in practical solutions that are best for all. Instead, you again throw out partial thoughts and opinions like, I think you will find, or don't just read their material, go and look what other people are saying as well. And you know exactly where people should look, and you give the link. So actually, you are trying to manipulate extensively here in this phrase. This is absolutely against anything what destiny stands for, because here you will be encouraged to read and experience all kinds of stuff in order to find out for yourself where you are being deceived and where people are self-honest and interested in truth and life. So, the next but not last assumption is that people that are being sucked into destiny will become money generators. I don't know if you refer to the course fees or anything, but actually you again throw out your judging opinion without any given example. Actually, with the Destiny I process, it is you yourself who can generate an income for yourself. That is true. So Destiny does not want to take over the world. This is your next assumption. Destiny engages the process of people to take their lives back in self-honesty and self-responsibility, direct themselves to create a world that is free from merely imaginations and mind concepts as living strategies, a world where people face the obvious consequences of their actions in self-honesty and stand as one and equal with all life and transform our messed up existence to create a world that is worth living in for everyone. Hence, we stand and support the equal money system. Do your research. And yes, that is the last point in this vlog of yours, and yes, there is a Bernard Pullman. You say it as if it was a bad thing that people say thanks or show appreciation to what he is saying. So face the fear you have here. Don't mix it up with reality or even assume that everybody else experiences the same fear. Some fear spiders, some not, but there's always a reason. If you want to be free from that fear, just investigate self. Maybe it is not even fear but jealousy or enviousness because people don't react that way when you are stating something. Whatever. Accusations are irrelevant. It is always about yourself. Maybe we will have the chance to expose and tackle some of these motivators later on. Thank you, X-Finx, Tom Dark, Manus.